What's up?
Yo, yo. What's up, man? Sorry, I'm a little bit crusty right now. Just
No, you're
haven't
good.
shaved. I've just been shredding.
I was gonna
But
say, how's that been?
it's pretty good. Today was pretty hot. It was like it's like 44 degrees out today. Yesterday was a little bit chillier, but today was pretty good. It's not too
Jeez,
bad.
that's super warm. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
man.
last time
It's
I
good
was at
stuff.
Copper, I want to say it was like 35 or 40 degrees.
Yeah.
So it was too warm, but
Yeah.
so it goes.
I feel it, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, you're a little bit of a guinea pig because I've never done this before. So I
That's okay.
super appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess to start off, I'd love to hear a little bit about. Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about how
Yeah.
you got started filming in general. Have you always been interested in like concert and
Mm.
music photography?
Um, well, to be honest, I've only been taking I only just started photography like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I've been doing video a lot longer though. I'd say when I was like 11 or 12, that's when I really started getting into the video side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't start hitting the like the music scene until I was like 19 when this like band out of Houston helped me sneak into this festival that they were playing at, and I was just there like filming them or whatever, and then I saw like that was kind of like my first time I've gone to a festival, and that was kind of like it was very extremely eye opening for me, and that's kind of what got me into everything.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So yeah, I'd say about 19, I was doing just only video stuff because I thought I was just that's the only thing that I knew, and then it wasn't until yeah after I graduated college was when I actually started photography.
Okay. And what were you
Yeah.
filming when you were a kid?
Oh man, lots of stupid shit. Lots of stuff with my friend. When I was like in middle school, I grew up with my mom at this apartment that she lived in, and it was just all the kids um, of like divorced parents. Like, so we just got into like just like a bunch of really stupid shit when we were younger, and I would just have like this really crappy like handheld Kodak camera, and it was just us messing around or a lot of skateboarding stuff with my friends, and
Yeah.
yeah, just that kind of stuff. And then um, yeah, like I said, I was just always into making like dumb skit type videos with my friends, pretty much all the way up until I was like yeah, like 18, and
Okay.
then 19. Everybody went to college, and then I discovered live music, and then that kind of took a toll on me.
Yeah. In a
So
good way or a bad way?
in a great way, it's
Okay.
changed my life. It's been
For
amazing.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, so then did you film many concerts throughout college?
Kind of. The first 2 years of the first 2 years of college, I was in community college, and I was working in a restaurant. And then it wasn't until my junior year where I transferred to the University of Texas, and there, the music scene in Austin is pretty powerful and it's extremely significant. And so I just spent a lot of time, sneaking into all the shows at South by Southwest for the next couple of years, and any sort of show I could get my hands onto um, throughout the year. I would just try to get myself into, and just did that constantly and just worked
Sure.
hard at it, and would just meet a lot of friends. Or, well, I mean, I met a lot of artists and bands that ended up becoming friends, and some of them ended up blowing up a little bit, and which is nice. So,
Mm-hmm. How do you as go about establishing professional relationships with bands?
um, I don't know. It's hard to. It's mainly just I just treat them like how I would with my other friends. I text them all the time, and just keep up with them, and I just try my best to you know be a good friend. And usually, what I've learned is, oh, it says pork. Pork. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Um, what I've learned is, it's at the end of the day, like, these bands and artists that I'm able to sort of, that I'm able to work with sometimes, they're just friends of mine. I treat them like a good friend. And I think that's panned out for me pretty well. Because like the whole point of me saying like, people think about tour photographers like, oh, maybe you have to be this super talented person to be able to do that kind of stuff. Which, yeah, like you have to be a little bit talented, sure. But I
Mm-hmm.
think for the most part, that's not what I've learned. Like being on the road, I think what I've learned is that if you're able to just hang out and you're able to really just be a good person and just be motivated or passionate about what you're into, and you're able to help out, you're able to get along with everybody, and I think that's pretty much what's always sort of driven the professional relationship forward. Really,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's just being charismatic on the road, and I think a lot of people really take that more
Yeah.
in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. And to kind of go off of that, um, do you ever find that somebody that you're working with is, I guess, unsatisfied with the image or video that you've made?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's different with every artist, but you know, there's a handful of artists that I've worked with that are very, very, very picky.
Okay.
Um, um, I won't.
You don't have to name names or yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I won't name names, and really, it's not even a bad thing that they're picky because it's their
Yeah.
image that you're trying to portray, and like
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's part of the job too, is you need to be able to take in criticism. Like if they're like, hey, like I don't like this, I'd rather it be this, or I want it to feel this way or whatever, then just fucking do it and make it. Because it's
Yeah.
like the thing is like, you're easily replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a privilege to be there.
Yeah.
It's an honor to help them out. Like, yeah, I said that, I treat them like friends or whatever, and you wanna just act like friends, but sometimes it's also a business.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like you have to deliver, and it just comes with it. So, you know, but sure, yeah, I've run into that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
lots of times.
And then do you try and just handle that as professionally and upfront as possible? Do you ever feel that
Sure.
it's like say somebody is unhappy with a photo or a video, but you're super super strong footed in how you feel about it being good or true to your vision? How do you go about that uh, tension between the two?
I'll definitely fight for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that happened like a few weeks ago that really, 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 really bummed me out, and it was this project that I worked on for like well over like 30 hours, and it got canceled,
Damn.
and I fought for it, and it just ended up not working out, and I don't get to make that call because
Mm-hmm.
when you start getting into like when you start working with management or labels and that kind of stuff, like things get really tricky because like money's involved or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
there's scheduling involved in how they want to portray the artist at a certain time or place or whatever, and I get that. But as an artist, it really blows to confront that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if it's something I'm passionate about, something I believe in, like I will fight for it. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out because, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just the camera guy, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. So, as I mentioned in the email too, like I'm a sophomore in college right now. Um, and I'm in the I have an internship right now, and I'm kind of in the process of figuring out what will best suit me while I'm in college to prep me for
Right,
what I want to do afterwards.
right.
So what do you think you did in college that either did or didn't help you get ready for post grad life?
Oh man. I don't know. There's a lot of things I really should have done in school. I feel like I didn't actually get enough time while I was at UT because coming out of community college, I had a 3.8 GPA.
Nice.
I got accepted to UT, but I did not get accepted into the film program,
Really?
which was a huge bummer. And so my whole first year at UT was basically working to get into the film school. I finally got in, and then I had 1 year there, which sucks because you have kids there that spend 4 years in film school, and I basically grinded it in about a year, and I just didn't give myself enough time. And I was never really on set. I didn't really learn a whole lot of things on set, and I don't know how to gaff. I don't know how to grip. I mean, to an extent, I know how to do those things, but like I don't know how to say like with full confidence, like, oh, this is all the gear you need for this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because I always did everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would just try to hook up with bands, like, and that's a solo thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different path. It's just a different path I took. And even that, I don't know. It's difficult to say. I guess I don't know. I don't regret anything because honestly, that really doing everything solo really prepped me for post grad. Because I mean, I was able to do a few things right after I graduated, but it really wasn't until this like April or like this March, April, or no, I guess March and April of 2018. So last year is when things really started to sort of work for me in terms of like the musicians I've been able to work with.
Yeah.
And working alone with my just working alone for all those years, like that really prepped me, and that really got me settled. And just being at UT was like the cherry on top, I'd say. Yeah,
because in that sense, like a lot of the work that you do is mostly solo, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, it's like it is 99% sold. I'd say, well, because like like all the video stuff, I shoot everything myself. I edit everything myself, and the only times that I don't have a solo project is if I make a music video, and that absolutely requires team effort. You can't do that shit on your own. You have to have a good team with you, which I've been able to work with some amazing people on some of the music videos I've been able to do within the last like year or so. But as far as like the tour stuff, like, I mean, like that's all my own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That leads nicely into another question I wanted to ask you was there ever like a moment or something of the like that you didn't necessarily feel like you quote made it in the traditional sense, but you'd sort of established yourself and had made the connections necessary to feel comfortable with the work that you were doing?
Yeah, I think that was like I think that was my first. Well, there's I think I had two moments because the first one was with Robert Delong, who actually, so that festival I was telling you about
South by Southwest.
That I went to, like that Free Press Summer Fest in Houston is the first festival that I went to or whatever.
Okay.
So that's actually the same day I met Robert. Was that day, but so. There were two moments. One of them was when I was like offered to essentially co-produce and second unit direct his music video for Favorite Colors Blue featuring K-Flay. Like that was definitely a big moment.
Yeah.
Because I remember on set I was like, oh cool, like this is I'm actually doing this as like a 23-year-old kid. And then the second moment was when I went on my first run with Jade Bird, and it was the last day in Indio, California, which is where they did Stagecoach / Coachella. And after I said goodbye to everybody, they sent me on this golf cart that like took me out of the grounds to like the Uber place so I could Uber to the airport. And I remember being in the golf cart, and there was all these like palm trees like kind of coming by me, and I was sort of enamored by the whole idea. I was like, wow, like I did all this. Like this is this is doing house shows like got me here or whatever, like sneaking into all these shows and just dicking around with my camera like got me here.
That's a pretty crazy realization.
Yeah, it's definitely wild. And then basically all of August to December I was on the road, and I honestly didn't even have enough. There was like, there was a lot of moments where I was like, oh wow, like this is really cool, whatever. But I was working so much that I never actually like got a moment to just sit there and be like, wow, this is all happening, because I was just so busy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say those 2 moments for sure.
That's super cool. Um, do you have, not to say that you're homeless, but do you have like a home, or are you just constantly moving around?
Yeah, so I had a place in Austin by myself, but it didn't make sense to be on the road and pay for an apartment and for bills that I wasn't staying at. So for the
Yeah.
time being, and I really didn't know how long I was going to be on the roads, I like moved all my stuff to my dad's house,
Mm-hmm.
and I genuinely just thought I was going to be on on the 6 week tour with Jade for her U.S. headline tour, and I was like, all right, like after that, I'll move back to Austin and I'll try to find a roommate or something. Like literally, I thought that was going to be the plan. Like
Yeah.
period. Like I did a tour. Like, well, technically, I mean that was my third one, but like my first official one with like fucking bus and a crew, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind
Yeah.
of tour. That was like cool. Like I finally did it. Probably won't happen again or for a while, so I'll just move back. But no, I mean I ended up on 2 more tours after that, all the way to December, and so that's just all my stuff has been at my dad's. So that's where I'm at right now.
Nice. Could you tell me a little bit about Shoot on Tour? Because I understand the premise of it, right? Like it's to create a community out of music
Yes,
creatives.
yes. I haven't, man. I need to hop on that. I haven't been on, like I've been really bad at shoot on tour lately because I've just been so slammed with my own like because all the shoot on tour stuff happened like right before the Jade tour.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been able to keep an eye on it for a really long time. I'm really bummed out because I talked to Justin about it because he just moved to New York. So now like
Mm-hmm.
now we're both super busy. But yeah, that was just all that was an idea to streamline the process of an artist slash band slash manager directly to a content creator. And I just wanted bands to be able to sort of find it as a route, like, hey, like maybe we can't afford somebody for a whole tour, maybe we could just find somebody in each city, and you
Yeah.
use the site, you literally use the site as a resource, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that, pretty simple.
Does it get used in that practical sense?
No, not lately. We've been terrible at sort of advertising it lately. We just like I said, we've been so busy with our own stuff. But I mean, we still get emails, and I sent because the thing is, like, a site like that doesn't exist, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to pinpoint how well it can do. I mean,
Sure.
obviously, if we put a lot of money into advertising it, like maybe it could have gone farther or whatever. But like, I have I have some pretty good relationships with like a handful of managers, and I've sent them the site that they then send to the whole like management company or whatever, and they've all been pretty receptive about it and
Mm-hmm.
like pretty stoked on the idea, like, oh yeah, like this is great, like you already have everyone on here, like we'll definitely pass this around or whatever. So I mean, if it technically gets used, there's actually no real way for us to find out unless
Yeah.
somebody posted about it.
Yeah.
Like, somebody can just go on there and find you, and like they say, hey, like we found your work, like we'd love to work with you, like then cool, it worked. Which I mean, it already has worked. I mean, we got somebody to shoot Franz Ferdinand or whatever
Oh shit.
through Shoot on Tour,
That's super cool.
and I got one of my friends, Britt. I got her to shoot. What show is it?
Is that Brett
I
O'Brien?
forgot. Yeah. I forgot what show. I'm so bad at remembering things. Oh well. This was like way back in like October or like August, I think, when all
Yeah.
this got set up. But I mean, it's worked here and there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's a super
You
cool
can
idea. Like when you first
Yeah.
posted about it, I was like, that is freaking genius.
Yeah. You know, I just figured I mean, it definitely, it's not like a massive thing. I mean, some people know about it. A lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. Like, it's not that I'm trying to sound pessimistic, but like, I wasn't expecting it to like change the world or whatever. I was just
Sure.
thinking like, hey, it's an idea. It could work. Maybe it won't. And if it doesn't,
Yeah.
that's okay. Like,
not a big
at least at least I tried.
Yeah.
Because like I'm just trying to better connect
Mm-hmm.
people that want to do tour photography to, the artist, because that's a really hard thing. And I've noticed, and this could be different for a lot of photographers. Maybe it's only just me, but a lot of the photographers that I've met at like shows or whatever, they're just not very friendly. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Like they're just very competitive with each other. I hate that
Do
shit.
you think it's
That shit's so.
necessary?
Um, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, because honestly, like the only reason, I think a big reason why I'm touring is because I'm not an asshole. Like you gotta be kind. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand it. I don't understand the bit. Like I don't like you don't have to be rude. Like I've dealt with, like, even like if it's just like a show or whatever. Like I remember shooting this magazine called Teal Magazine got me to like shoot Foster the People.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it was cool. Like I wasn't like, I was like, oh, like this is sick,
Mm-hmm.
and like, they're not like my favorite band or whatever, but like obviously like everybody knows who they are. And I was like, all right, yeah, this will be fun. Like, you get your first three songs or whatever, and then like I'll enjoy the rest of the show. Like I really wasn't thinking much of it. And there's just in the pit already, like people get there like either an hour before the show starts, or they get there like 30 fucking seconds before the show starts, and then they'll get there and they just like literally like they will go up to you and be like, you need to move. Yeah,
What?
no, exactly. Like I literally I remember sitting down, and I remember this huge like Hawaiian guy like walked up. He's like, you need to get your ass up, brother. Like you need to go. You can't like, if you're gonna be in the pit, you need to be in the pit. And I was like, dude,
Oh my God.
like who do you think you are?
Is he
Like I
another
don't.
photographer? Or is he like
Yeah,
security?
no,
Oh.
no. He's a photographer. He had three cameras on him. Just like, you don't need that many cameras, you stupid idiot. You're so full of shit, dude. You don't need. He had like one camera with like he had one Canon with like a he had like the Canon like XD1 or whatever, like like those
1DX?
like yeah, the 1DX. I
Yeah.
don't even know
Yeah.
what it's called. I don't even know what it's called. It's a $6,000 camera. It's and he had one of those with like the 200 millimeter lens, and then he had another one with like, I swear to God, it was like a 300 millimeter lens or some bullshit. I remember I was looking at the lens. I was like, dude, you're 4 feet away. Like you don't.
No,
You're
and it's like, dude, he can save like 15 or 20 seconds by having more than one body.
And like it wasn't because like the stage wasn't that high. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was maybe 4 feet off the ground. I was like, you don't need that. You like it's so I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. I really am rambling. But I've met. It wasn't just that show. I've met lots of photographers who are just that competitive. And I
Yeah.
guess your original question was if it was necessary, and I don't think it's necessary. No,
Yeah.
because what does that prove? I don't.
No, it doesn't
What are
get
you
you
trying
anywhere.
to? Are you trying to get a good photo to send to them so that they can post it on their Instagram? Do you think that's going to get you a job? That's not
Yeah.
going to get you a job.
Yeah.
That will never get you a job. Are you kidding me? No, that they don't give a shit. You think I mean, well, maybe. Like, sure, maybe. Like, they see a photo and they post it on their Instagram, and they could theoretically be like, "Hey, like, we'd love to hire you, even though we don't know who you are." Like, no, that
Seems
shit
very
doesn't.
slim.
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of explaining earlier. Like, for the most part, like, yeah, you gotta be talented, but you gotta be, you gotta hang out. You just gotta be a good
Mm-hmm.
guy or a good
Mm-hmm.
girl. You know, it's just a cool person. How about that? Just be,
Cool person. Cool
just be
person.
a cool. Yeah,
Don't be an asshole.
yeah. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
Just be
because
nice.
it seems like a lot of the time
Nice.
that you spend touring, um, it's kind of
Unbelievable.
just like hanging out too, kind of to a degree. Is that right?
Kind of. Um,
Yeah.
I work. I mean, I don't just do the photography and the videography. I handle all the merchandise, and I, I'm a crew member too. I help load in, I help load out, whatever I can do. I'm doing like more than like 4 or 5 different hats when I'm on the road. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard because I'll be, my day would start at like, oh, I guess it depended on the tour. Like Jade's tour, my day would start at like 9 or 10 a.m. and we'd be at promos all day, and then we wouldn't get back till like 3 or 4, and then we would have lunch, and then we would go load in, and then the show would start, and like that's it, and then that's your whole day, and then you're up until 2 in the morning editing. But
Yeah.
there are spots between all of that where we hang out because we
Mm-hmm.
can't go anywhere else, so we just we're either playing poker or we're fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really, yeah, those are So yeah, I guess there's them hanging out. Not as much as you think though. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah. It seems super hectic.
It is. It's really hectic, and I'll tell you what, like Robert, like I'm only saying Robert and Jade just because that's who I've just been on with the last like 5 months or whatever. But those
Mm-hmm.
guys are amazing. Those two artists are some of the hardest working people I've ever met in my whole life.
Yeah.
Truly, those guys are amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with Robert's music, but I really don't know much about Jade. Um, what's it been like working with somebody that's kind of like established and quote successful as somebody like Robert? Either him specifically or kind of the position that he's in his creative career.
I mean, it's not. I don't know because I see him as like even though I started out as a fan, like I mean, I just see him as my friend now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want to see him like I want to help him succeed. I want to do anything I can to help him succeed. So, it's it's cool to be with a guy and people recognize him and it's cool that you're like yeah like I'm a part of this team and I get to help you grow
Yeah.
and using like my skill set or whatever. So that's a cool feeling, and I'll get that with anybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, any artist, regardless of how big they are. Like I just I'll always be thankful of helping an artist grow in any way I can. I would say is my answer. Yeah.
That's super cool. How did you get involved with the Minnesota music scene?
Yes, Hippo guys, the best. They're awesome. And the Remo guys too are all awesome. Those are all people are really cool. Yeah, it was at not the South by that we just had, but the one before. So 2017 South by Southwest. They had it was like a month after they dropped Landmark.
Okay.
And I found out about Landmark a week before it dropped. And then, or I found out about Hippo Campus a week before Landmark dropped, and I was like, "Oh wow, these guys are
Oh,
great."
so you didn't know much about them.
God no, I didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, dude, like these guys are great." And I knew they were coming to South by, and at this point, still, I was not taking photos. Like, I was only just focusing on video. And I was like, "Yeah, man." I had my best friend Justin with me. I was like, "Hi, it'd be cool. I would love to freaking go shoot them. There's." Shoot them a video. I don't know what kind of video, but just something. I mean, well, fuck it. And a lot of it was, sort of hard work, but then there's a big portion of it that was really luck, because I was supposed to meet my boss at the time. I was interning for Glassnote, and I was supposed to meet up with him later throughout the day, and I ended up going to badge pickup because Justin saw him walking our way or whatever, and he was just like, "All right, well, just come with me to badge pickup." And we were there for 5 minutes, and sure enough, I look up and I see the hippo walking towards me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh shit, this is the hippo guy." So I just said hi really quick. I was like, "Hey, this is my friend Justin. We wanted to because we didn't want to bombard them or whatever, because they're just not getting there." But we were like, "Yeah, we'd love to shoot you guys a video or whatever," and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." They didn't think twice of it, which why would they? And then we just kept sneaking into there's a bit of a longer story, but I'll just kind of cut to it. We snuck in, we just kept sneaking into all these shows, and the first one, Justin and I got pretty far into the show, kind of lying and getting ourselves in, and I remember the production manager was caught me, I was in the photo pit, and she's like, "I'm throwing your ass out of here." And I was like, no, I'm with the band. And she's like, "No, the fuck you're not. I did not see you load in with them. You're leaving right now." And I saw Nathan, and I was like, he can vouch for me. I'm here. I'm I can shoot for them.
Oh,
And
so
she's
you pulled Nathan into it?
yeah, I pulled Nathan into it.
Damn.
And
Did it
sure
work?
enough, it worked. Nathan pulled up his hair, and he remembered me.
Yeah, the most Nathan thing.
He remembered me, and he was like, yeah, sure, like he's with us or whatever, like the most like whatever kind of
Yeah.
way. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, hey, like I'm sorry about that, man. He's like, that's fine, I guess. And then like the next three shows, Justin and I would just, I'm not kidding you, we lied and snuck our way in. And then I think by the fourth show, they were like, what is this video for? I was just like, I thought I could like make you guys something. I mean,
That
are
is
you guys still cool with
hilarious.
that? And they were just like, I feel like if I was by myself, they would have nixed it. But I think they really liked Justin, and they were like, yeah, sure.
Who's
Like,
Justin?
they're like, he's one of my best friends.
Okay.
He helped me start. He helped me start Shoot on Tour.
Okay, because I know there was
Um,
another guy that was listed on the website.
yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, he's like when I met all of Hippo, like he met them with me too. Like they're friends with him too.
Okay.
Um, And so they were like, if you want, like, you can just load in with us for the rest of the week and like hang out with us because we don't really know anybody. We were like, yeah, for sure. And dude, we just ended up hanging out like the rest of the week. And yeah, we went to. They were like staying at this like I don't want to say it's a party house. It's just like a house like in West Austin. It's just this really nice like second home that this guy has, and he was like letting them stay there or whatever because like his
Yeah.
daughter's like a huge fan or something like that.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I've noticed like those guys are like the wildest fans, but they like they like stayed at this house, and like we went over there a couple times and just hung out with them, played like you know Smash and like swam in the pool and that all that good stuff. And that's when we kind of all we just like we're like, yeah, this is sick, like we're all friends. And like
Mm-hmm.
you know I remember like their last night, like Nathan like brought up, he's like, how did you like get here again? And like I told him, I was like, this is kind of what I planned out. And he was like, oh dude, that's like the most rock and roll shit. He's like, all right dude, like you're with us, like that's sick. And we just remained
That's
friends.
awesome.
And when Remo opened for them, I was able to hang out with them, and they're really cool guys. And I've kept in touch with them. I still keep in touch with them. I was able to help. Sad Cops was able to open up a show for Remo
Oh, sick. Where was
when
that?
when they came down to Dallas
Okay.
back in like September or whatever. Because I like texted Steven about it. I was like, hey, like, because they know who Sad Cops are. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, like, low chance. It's okay if this is like inappropriate for me to ask, whatever. But do you think Sad Cops can hop on the Dallas bill? And he was like, yeah, like that'd be sick. Like, let me go, email like our booking agent, and he'll like get forward to you guys if it's possible. And he's like, yeah, like it's all good or whatever. And like, so he did that. And and I was able to see him when I was in Minnesota for the Robert and AJR show.
Okay.
And he was
Cool.
like, he's like, hey dude, like let's go get some lunch. And he's a great guy,
Yeah.
such a great guy. They all are. That's kind of how I was able to hang out with them, was because I met Hippo. So
Yeah.
it's like the only way I got into the Minnesota scene, I guess. What a
Sure.
long what a long answer. All
No,
my
I
answers
love
are
that.
long,
That was
man.
awesome.
All my answers are gonna be really long.
No, I
Sorry.
love it. The more I can get, the better. Um, so when I was listening to you there, I'll give you a little personal anecdote too. Um, like my two biggest things that I love the most, my two biggest passions, I guess you could say, would be like outdoors and then media or content or however you want to label that.
Sure.
And in a way, because I'm not a professional skier, because I'm not a professional climber, I don't necessarily have the chops to grow into a professional athlete. So I sort of see media, photos, videos, something like that, as a way that I can build a career or create a life that blends the two, so that I can be outside, so that I can do what I want and monetize it. Is the same true for you in terms of making music as big of a part of your life as possible?
Right. So
So I guess what draws you to filming music in a
what
more
draws me
succinct
to
way? Yeah.
Oh man, I mean it's I don't know. I didn't even know you can make a career out of it, which it's even hard to say. I feel like I'm still kind of fighting for the next job, like because I don't know how much more longer I can do it. Just because it's hard to, you know, band not might be able to tour like 365 days out of the year for you, you know. But I don't know. I just always kept true to the music. I just kept going at it until like I wasn't even trying to like yeah I wanted to tour and make like a job out of it, but like I didn't really do it for that reason. I just did it because I loved it, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might sound cheesy or cliche or whatever, but it just I mean I just stayed true to my heart, and it just fucking worked out.
Yeah.
And I just kept working at it, and you know I just kept being nice to people, and you know somebody I just finally somebody was just like, hey, like you know you should do this, you should come with us, or you know I think we could use you, blah blah blah. And I mean, it worked out, man. um I guess I don't know. I guess that's how, man, that's weird. This whole thing is weird, getting dropped like this. Like I just got like um so for like AJR or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the band that Robert opened for that tour, they like didn't have anybody like doing their stuff or whatever, and I was just like, hey, like, do you guys want some shit? Like, I feel bad. You guys have like these huge crowds that you're not like getting any like content or whatever, and they're like, yeah, that'd be great, man. And no, those guys are super cool, and just shot them a little bit each night, and you know, by like the Denver, and like they knew I was doing like Robert's merch or whatever as well, and like by the Denver show, they were like, hey, like, what are you doing next year? Like, do you want to come be our tour photographer? And I was like, fuck yeah, it sounds good, like for sure. And just somehow just kept going, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I answered your question correctly. I always dive into these deep
No, I dig
deep
it. I'm learning
answers,
a
and
lot.
I just ramble. I'm so ADD about this, man. Sorry.
It's all good. But
Um,
yeah, I mean, the question is more just like what draws you to filming music?
what draws me to filming music? I mean, there's just nothing like it, brother. So it's electricity. There's just you know, it feels incredible to be able to capture something that you know most people will remember as their favorite day or as their first concert. Every show I go to, it's somebody's first concert ever.
That's super cool.
Every
Yeah.
every show, and guess what? Like, hey, like if I got some pictures for them, or if, like I got photos that night, or if I got some video that night, and they like looked at it, they're like, oh, like that was my first show. You see what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah, totally.
somebody's gonna like they'll remember that for the rest of their lives. You see what I'm saying? So like
Mm-hmm.
you're part of something so much more, and I just fucking love music, dude. I love it more than anything in the world. I love filming more than anything in the world. So you put those two together, and yeah, feels great.
There you go.
So yeah, man.
That's super cool. Um, so my final question is: you're driving across the country, like DC to LA,
Do,
and you can listen to one
okay.
artist.
Oh, how long is that drive?
It's
That's gotta
really
be.
long. It's
That's
like what,
gotta be
three
like a.
days?
No, it can't be 3 days. That's well, you're literally driving across the Rocky Mountains, so it might be
I know
three
it's long.
days. Oh, dude, you stumped me. Um, I think I'd have to go with LCD Sound System.
Okay, nice.
If I could do like a backup. Oh man, if I could do a backup, I'd say like Led Zeppelin. So
Okay,
I'm gonna give you two answers.
that's fine with me. I know I can't always give one sole answer to that question either.
Right.
So, what would you tell yourself 4 years ago?
Hmm. You're gonna you're gonna be on the road, but you you're gonna have to end up. Oh, man, hold on. Oh, I got this. It's I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of how to properly phrase this. You're going to have the opportunity to be on the road, but you're going to have to make a decision between that or something else. And it's going to be really hard. That or, just don't stop.
Just keep on chugging?
Yeah, just keep going. But, just don't stop. Let's just go with that. Make it more simple. Like less ambiguous and depressing. Yeah. Yeah, don't stop. How about that?
Yeah, don't stop. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Austin. I really appreciate your time. This has been a good experience and only helping me get closer to whatever it is I'm trying to get closer to. Cool. Sounds good. Thanks, Austin. Have fun skiing out there.
All right. You too, man. See ya.
Yeah. Peace.